Hi again and welcome to OML International Shipping. In this video, we'll be looking at the common mistakes people tend to make when purchasing items from China and shipping to Jamaica. Let's take a look at how to avoid them. Mistake number 1. Persons always believe that since the item in China is cheap, the shipping cost is also cheap. Try not to compare both costs. It all depends. Because if you purchase an item in China for $2.50, you cannot believe that the shipping cost is going to be the same or similar as $5 or another $2. We have to also bear in mind, China is many miles away from us. Remember, China in daytime is our nighttime. So that alone should tell you how far China is. Do not try to compare it also with online shipping, like when you're buying something out of Miami and you pay $700 for the shipping cost. That's not how it works. The truth is too that if you get an extremely cheap rate to ship your items from China, then your transit fee will be more when it gets to Panama. Now, persons don't normally know this, but when you buy items in China, it ships from China, it goes to Panama, sometimes it goes to Miami before it gets to Jamaica. So majority of the time it's not done directly, and that's how you end up with your transit fee or your transshipment fee, because the item goes to Panama, it's offload, and it has to reload onto another vessel to get to Jamaica. So I think you understand now why the shipping costs cannot be that of what you pay for an item that costs $2 or $10. Mistake number 2. Always find out from your vendor or your supplier if they have an export permit for the items you wish to ship. If that's not the case, if they don't have it, it's not that it can't ship, but it will have to be done on a special arrangement, and this may increase your shipping costs. Mistake number 3. Purchasing batteries, powders, liquids. Always ensure that your supplier provides you with the MSDS, which is the Manufacturer Safety Data Sheet, and your DGM, which is Dangerous Good certificate. Now, if they don't provide those certificates to you, this poses a problem as the carrier will request these documentation. And of course, this will also increase your costs without these documentation, because a special arrangement will have to be made in order for those items to be shipped. Mistake number 4. Buying restricted items in China and the seller has no export permit for those items. An example is PPEs, masks, face shields. Then again, a special arrangement will have to be made in order for those items to be shipped. So you need to ensure, take necessary precaution or ask questions when you're purchasing items. Find out if the items are restricted, if your supplier manufacturer have the necessary documentation to have those items shipped to Jamaica for you, so you can avoid the necessary charges. Mistake number 5. Always find out the trade term before you purchase. You will hear about X word and FOB. Now, when we talk about X word, it simply means that you'll be responsible for arranging the pickup and the delivery of your item to the port as well as taking care of all the local charges in China. If it is that is FOB, then the vendor will take care of the delivery to the area where the items will be shipped and some of the local charges. So it's always best to find out what sales agreement that you're agreeing to with your supplier. Is it export? Is it FOB? Make sure you find out. That is something very important, because I've seen in many cases where persons have purchased items and they believe that the supplier will drop off those items for them, and then when they check it out, it's basically export. So they weren't aware of the sales agreement that they engage in or the trade term. So keep those two terms in mind. Mistake number 6, not getting a proper commercial invoice. Normally when you purchase items anywhere, you should get an invoice. Ensure that it's marked commercial invoice. It has all the description of the items that you purchase and the cost. This is needed when you're clearing your items through customs. And trust me on this one. Trust me. You will have problems. If you don't have your proper invoice, customs will request one. And this will take up time when clearing your items. And remember, it involves costs when you speak about more time when clearing your items. Mistake number 7. We're going to speak about invoice a little further. No, not just ensuring that you have your commercial invoice, but ensuring that your supplier do not lower the costs on the invoice. This is something that is very popular or known to happen in China or in Japan. The supplier will know that your invoice costs $2,000 and they will put $1,500 US on the invoice. I know for persons, they will start thinking, okay, I like the idea because it is less, but we need to be wise. Think wisely. This will cause a lot of problem because customs is very suspicious when it comes to items purchasing out of China. And 1, they'll make sure that they look at the documentation carefully. 2, they will also ask you for proof of payment. So you're going to have to show your bank statements, whether it's your credit card. You're going to have to show your wire transfer documentation. If it is done through Western Union, you're going to have your documentation. Or customs will not release your goods. Now, if that is the case, and you can't provide those information, I'm sure it's going to be a little embarrassing. And not only that, it's going to start costing you more, because think about the goods on the port can't come off because you're not able to provide those documentation, and the port is also charging you for storage. Not to mention if they already examine your goods and they're going to charge you for a restocking fee. So do things the right way to avoid the necessary involvement with customs and asking for the documentation. Now remember, if you are in doubt when purchasing items from China to ship to Jamaica, OML International is always here. We offer free recommendations and advice. Just give us a call, 933-0607, or WhatsApp number 819-2967. Be sure to watch our other video on shipping from China to Jamaica, where we'll be discussing ways to reduce your shipping costs. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell.